So yesterday, I know I was saying I got a lot of grass right now, and the grass is coming in real good. And I didn't show y'all what the grass looked like. So I figured this morning I would show y'all what the grass looked like. And if you want to see what the grass looks like, it's very easy when you come over here and where there's a dirt patch next to it. And then you take a look at it, because then you can see that it's the flat ground and then there's the grass coming out of it. And this grass, I would say it's about a foot tall. Maybe not quite a foot, but maybe about 10 inches tall. You know, the grass is coming in real good, and the cattle have been grazing it. And also, okay, here's the thing about this grass, is that this grass, I'm actually grazing it. I got about 1.5 acres out here. I got about 1.25 acres out here of grass. And I'm actually grazing this grass 24/7 with about 7 animals per acre. I have 10 animals out here right now. I have 10 animals out here right now, and they're grazing it 24/7. And my grass still looks like this. You know, this is what my grass looks like right now. And the grass actually looks even better in the back, because the animals haven't really gone out to the back for about a week. And here in about 2 or 3 days, I'll be letting the animals out in the back to go eat the grass. And I've actually decided to move my doctor's appointment. You know, I decided to move my doctor's appointment from this week over to next week. So I'm not going to be going to the doctor this coming Monday. I'm going to go to the doctor the next Monday, because I need to refill my preconditioning pens. Having an empty preconditioning pen is not good, right? I need to keep my pens full. I'm losing money, right? I'm sitting here with cash. I have animals that are ready to go to market. And if I sit around for a week, then I'm losing money. So, you know, but this is what the grass looks like. You know, the grass looks real good. The grass is probably about 10 inches tall, and it's coming in real thick. And this grass is actually being grazed 24/7 by about 7 animals per acre. And so this is what I mean by when you grow grass, you know, and this whole, you know, this whole grass situation is that for me to grow, okay, so this is 1.25 acres of grass. And the grass in the back is actually better than the grass up here. And I've got about 10 acres of grass. I have about 9 acres of grass. And for me to grow 9 acres of grass, it cost me about $350 a month, about $400 a month. So for $400 a month, I can actually grow grass like this. And this grass is being grazed 24/7 by about 7 animals per acre. All right, and my grass still looks like this. This is what I mean by, this is what I mean by when you grow. What I have found, you know, I just give you my information, because why not? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I legitimately make so much money doing this. I could do whatever I want. And, you know, I don't know how else to put it. It doesn't matter. You know, opinions, you know, nobody cares about an opinion, right? Talk is cheap. You either have money or you don't. And I have a lot of money. I make a boatload of money in the cattle business. I don't even know how much money I make. I don't. I make a lot. All right, it is what it is. I mean, you don't like it, I don't know. Go die poor by yourself, okay? I don't know how else to put it. I legitimately make so much money in the cattle business, I don't even know how much money I make. And this is what my grass looks like. All right, when the grass looks like this, I make a boatload of money. For me to grow grass like this on 9 acres, this is 1.25 acres of grass, and I'm grazing it 24/7 with about 7 animals per acre. I actually have 10 animals out here. And, you know, I've got about 1.25 acres, 1.25 acres of grass. And my grass looks like this, even though it's being grazed 24/7. All right, I'm legitimately grazing this grass 24/7 with 7 animals per acre, and my grass still looks like this. And this cost me $350 for 9 acres. This is at 1.25 acres. It cost me about $350 a month, $400 a month to grow grass like this. And I've always, you know, and I talk about this all the time, and it's whatever, you know, in terms of you know, why do I say the things that I say, and you know, because at the end of the day, you know, and here's, you know, and I always say we can use money as a gauge, simply because money is the same for everybody. That's why I say we can use money as a gauge. Because when you take a look at my situation and you're like, oh my God, you know, here's a guy making $25,000 a month running cattle on a 10.5 acre field. And I've already told you, I'm probably going to double that over the next 5 months. I'll probably end up doubling that, okay? I'm probably even going to do better than that. Most people cannot even make $25,000 a month doing anything. All right, most people can't. It's very difficult, borderline impossible. And I managed to make myself about $25,000 a month running commercial cattle on a 10.5 acre field. That's very good. If you think about money as a gauge, because nobody cares about an opinion, all right? If you have no money, then you have no money. All right, I don't know how else to put it. All right, if you're poor, then you're poor. There is, I mean, you know, there is no, it's not debatable, right? I always say money's not debatable and nobody cares. I mean, you know, either you have money or you don't. All right, either you have it or you don't, and it's a number in the bank account. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. All right, you know, it just is what it is. And, you know, but I actually moved my doctor's appointment over, and why do I say these things? Do I say these things to be an arrogant prick? Do I say these things to be, you know, a malicious individual? No, I say these things because at the end of the day, if you're lying to yourself, what is that going to do for anybody? Trust me, I'm not going to be the one who cares. I'll just sit here and be rich by myself. I legitimately make so much money running cattle, I don't even know how much money I make. All right, but if you're lying to yourself, what is that going to do for anybody? All right, you know, be honest with yourself. And I show you my checks, all right? I show you my checks. You can add it up for yourself. I tell you how I run my balance sheet. I legitimately run my own business by myself. I tell you my balance sheet, and then you can double check it with the whatever, the cattle, with whatever you want. Keep track of it yourself. All right, money is not an opinion. All right, you know, and I'm not, you know, generating this grass on my field with AI, right? I mean, this is real grass. I can stick my hand in it right now, and it's real grass, okay? It's real grass. It's all real grass. It's all real grass. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. This is legitimately real grass. Honest to God, I grazed this grass with about 7 animals per acre, and it still looks like this. And this grass cost me about $400 a month to grow about 9 acres of it, and this is 1.25 acres. Honest to God. All right, you know, I'm not lying to you, okay? I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. And if you don't want to believe me, then I don't know what else to tell you. Have fun on your delusional fantasy. Go and die poor. I'm not going to care. I will watch you die poor. All right, you know, I'm not even going to attempt to save you. All right, you know, this grass cost me about $400 to grow about 9 acres of it. I make about $20,000 a month on that for that investment. I probably make about somewhere between 15 and 20,000, and my income is actually going up every single month. And it's actually going up pretty drastically. I will probably double my income over the next 5 months. And that's with me using 0 leverage. All right, you know, and most people cannot make $25,000 a month doing anything. And I legitimately made myself $20,000 a month, probably even more. But on a 10.5 acre field, I make about $20,000 a month. And I legitimately managed to make myself $20,000 a month running commercial cattle on a 10.5 acre field, starting my own first generation cattle farm. That's very good, right? I mean, it just is what it is. And I'm actually probably even going to double this thing over the next 5 months. I have a very realistic opportunity. I got myself a lease property. I'm going to pay out a dividend. You know, the owner of the land told me that he didn't, whatever, payment was whatever. But me, I feel like I get more if I pay, and I'm not worried about money. All right, I'm not worried about money. You know, I think about other things. How many cattle am I going to run? What do I think the weather's going to be like? Do I believe the mineral concentrations in my field are correct? What kind of animals am I going to buy? What does the commodity markets look like? You know, what kind of, you know, I think there are a lot of things to consider than some trivial sum of money. All right, you know, if my business costs me $1,500 and I make $20,000, then I don't care about the $1,500. I just take the $1,500 out of the $20,000 that I make. Very simple, right? It's not some complicated thing. And, you know, and I've always said this, and, you know, when it comes to doing something like this, if, you know, there is legitimately, I mean, it doesn't matter. If you legitimately, you know, because I may legitimately be one of the most capable farmers on the entire planet. The entire planet. And if you think about my results in terms of a global standard, You know, just from money. Most people cannot make $25,000 a month doing anything. Anything. It doesn't matter what they do, they cannot make $20,000 a month. And I legitimately managed to make this money starting my own first generation cattle farm on a 10.5 acre field. All right, I started my own business and I legitimately started making, and if you can't add up the numbers on a check, then I mean, I don't know, you know, you're gonna have to figure it out. That's very not good. All right, you got a calculator on your phone, add it up. All right, you know, I don't know what else to tell you. You know, you're gonna have to figure it out. All right, or you're gonna die poor. Have fun with that. And why would I care? I legitimately make so much money running cattle that I don't even know how much money I make. I make a massive amount of money, and I'm showing it to you. And I talked about this in a reality perspective. And I know that this is going to sound horrible, but I'm also going to tell you, do not get discouraged. If you get discouraged easily, then you're not going to get very far in life. All right, you're going to die poor. Have fun with that. And I said this in terms of my perspective. When I give you my perspective, you know, if you manage to do 10%, you can actually practice for free. If you manage to do 10% of what I'm doing, you can actually practice for free. And if you practice for free, that puts you in a very good situation, because now you can practice for a very long time and it won't cost you any money. You can actually even probably make a little bit of money. And if you practice for free, that's the most realistic situation that you want to be in. Right? And I talk about this idea in terms of my bigger perspective. I don't care about what this costs. It doesn't cost me anything. The $1,500 a month that I need to run my business, I just take that $1,500 out of the $20,000 that I make. I don't care about the $1,500. And this is the big idea that I'm looking to introduce to you, right? If you can practice for free and you practice for a very long time, you won't have to pay anything for it and you can get better. Are you born a farmer? Was I born a farmer? Nobody's born a farmer. All right, everybody's more or less born average. And if you want to learn how to farm, it's going to take a long time. And nobody did this for me. Nobody showed me, you know, this is exactly how I did it. You know, I'm a multi-millionaire. You know, I legitimately do so well farming that I am effectively in the very, 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 very top percentiles of the entire U.S. economy. Nobody did this for me, and I still made it. Right? Nobody did this for me, and I still made it. So that's my perspective. All right. Why am I showing you how to do this? Because, you know, I'm looking to put you in the right direction. If you get to the 10% mark, you can practice for free. And if you practice for a very long time and you continue to improve yourself over that time, you can eventually get here. This is what my results look like. And I have world-class results. I do very well for myself. This grass right here, I have about 1.25 acres of grass. The grass is maybe 8 to 10 inches tall. I'm grazing it 24/7 with about 7 animals per acre, and it costs me about $400 a month. And for that money, I make about $15,000 to $20,000 back. Those are my numbers. All right, those are my numbers. Nobody cares about an opinion. Those are my numbers. I am stating a fact. All right, I am telling you that is a fact. Money is not an opinion. Nobody cares about an opinion. My opinion, nobody cares. I'm telling you that is what it is. For me to grow 9.5 acres of grass, for me to grow 9 acres of grass, and I am legitimately grazing this grass right now with about 7 animals per acre, 24/7. And my grass is still about 10 inches tall. And it's going to continue to grow. This costs me about $400 a month, okay? This is what my grass looks like. I'm a world-class grass grower. I've always said that, you know, in terms of cattle, I'm pretty good at it. I mean, you know, am I going to be in like the top 3 or 4, 5 best in the world? No, but I may be, in terms of running cattle, I may be in the top like 50,000. But in terms of growing grass, I may be one of the best in the world. And in terms of running a business and, you know, the whole situation, when you put the cattle and the business and the grass and all that together, and, you know, and how I conduct myself, there may not even be 3 people on the entire planet that can run a farm like me. It may not even be 3. I may legitimately be one of the best. And if, and why do I say that? Because I mean, we can use money as a gauge. All right, I'm making about $20,000 a month on a 10.5 acre field running commercial cattle. I mean, and you can take a look at my grass, right? My grass, I mean, I would say it's about 10 inches tall. And I'm grazing this grass 24/7 with about 7 animals per acre. All right, I mean, it just is what it is, all right? I don't know what else to tell you. It is what it is, okay? Nobody cares about an opinion. Nobody cares about an opinion. If you have a bunch of opinions and you have no money, I mean, die poor. That's kind of pathetic. I mean, you're probably also an idiot. The list goes on and on. I mean, I sincerely hope that you turn yourself around and you manage to do something for yourself throughout your life other than die poor and be a moron. I hope that you do. I sincerely hope that you do. All right, and I'm showing you my results and I'm giving you my information for free. At the end of the day, the results are the results, and results are important. Are results everything? No, they're not everything. Nobody's gonna wake up tomorrow. If you don't know how to farm at all, like if you're legitimately not making any money, or even worse, if you're losing money farming, you're not going to be able to wake up tomorrow and immediately start doing something like this. That is not possible. All right, this took me almost 15 years. I mean, I'm on my 15th year now, right? And I would legitimately work 7 days a week. I live where I work. I'm going to be growing my business. I'm actually going to load up my animals this weekend. I actually moved my doctor's appointment. I moved my doctor's appointment so I can refill my preconditioning pens, and I'm going to take my animals over to the leased property. I'm going to take about 10 animals over to the leased property, and I'm going to refill my preconditioning pens. And but my results are what they are, okay? It's a statement of a fact. Opinions don't get you anywhere. Take your opinion to the bank and see what happens. All right, take your opinions and sue me. See what happens. Opinions don't get you anywhere. If I walk into the bank and I say, boom, here is my checking account, I am putting $18,975 a month into my checking account, then they will take a look at that and they will say, oh, Mr. Chung is putting $18,975 in his checking account every month. That is how money works. It's not an opinion. Oh my God, he makes 19 grand, but he doesn't, but turns out he's negative 20. Are you dumb? That's not how it works. I'm not negative. I'm very far in the positive. I don't even know how much money I make. I don't even worry about money. That's how much money I make. All right, I'm being completely serious. I make a large amount of money. I don't, and I'm telling you this and I'm not bragging about it. I'm telling you this because at the end of the day, maybe it will be some good for somebody. Because why not? Why would you choose to be poor? There's no reason to be poor. Why would you choose to be poor? There's no good reason for it. All right, make a large amount of money. Go and make yourself some money. Go and make a large amount of money, okay? Go and do it. Don't sell your soul to the devil for it. I mean, if you, and the thing about running cattle is that this is not something that you just magically do one day. Running cattle is not an easy business. All right, as far as I know, I don't even know anybody even doing 10%. All right, and I'm not saying this to be an arrogant prick. I mean, then let's talk money. All right, I don't even know anybody even doing $2,000 a month on a 10.5 acre field. And if you actually take a look at how much equity I am generating by starting my own businesses and growing my balance sheet, growing my business, and how much equity am I generating by doing that? I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars. Millions. And even as it is today, I will probably end up the year making closer to $1 million in cash flow, straight cash flow, no equity. I will probably end the year making closer to $1 million a year than 250 grand. As of right this moment, I'm making about 350 grand. And I will end the year making closer to $1 million. All right, straight cash flow, right? I mean, straight cash flow, no equity. If you include the equity multiple, I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars. I would actually estimate that my net worth ends up over $10 million by the end of the year. All right, and these are my results. This is what I'm doing. I'm legitimately showing it to you for free. All right, I have some of the best financial results in the entire country. I'm just one dude on a farm by himself running cattle. I don't have much equipment, right? I don't have, 15 employees. I effectively do 98% of everything by myself, and I generate large amounts of money. All right, that's how I did it. That's how I personally did it, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, there are people, oh my God, go into whatever, scale yourself to a point where, whatever. But me, I'm telling you how I did it. I effectively just got very good at farming, and farming is a very important skill set. I got very good at it. I started my own farming business. And, and it just is what it is, okay? I don't know how else to put it. I mean, money is not an opinion. If you go to the bank and you say, oh my God, I have an opinion about money, see what the banker does. I'm not going to be the only person that thinks you're an idiot. The banker's going to think you're a moron too. Nobody cares about your opinion. If you walk into the bank and you say, here is my monthly statements. And for the last 24 months, out of the last 24 months, on 19 months, I actually put about $19,000 a month into my bank account. Then that's very good. Then the banker will take a look at that and they will say, oh, here's a guy making about, whatever, right? Here's a guy making about $240,000 a year. Here's a guy making about $200,000 a year. And now he's in the bank, I've taken a look at his debt to income ratio, right? Your monthly statements are also, just a numerical fact. Oh, here's a guy, he's making about $20,000 a month. He spends about $5,000 and he reinvests about $15,000 back into his business. And his business is actually growing just by that reinvestment with no leverage. That's very good. Well, what do you want? Right, I've always said that's how you present deals to your banker, all right? That's how you present deals to a banker. You find a deal that you want. I found a very big piece of land, all right? And I'm going to take this deal over to the banker. And when I take that deal to the banker, I'm going to talk to him about the asset and producing positive returns with this asset. And I'm going to show him show the banker my financials, right? Show him everything. Right, I have $1 million worth of hard collateral. I can, I have $1 million worth of hard collateral. I'm net positive cash flow, about $10,000-$15,000 a month. My business is actually growing, even with zero leverage. If I just reinvest my earnings, my business is actually growing at a rate at about it's about doubling in size every 365 days, and I'm already producing 20 grand a month. Then that's very good. Oh, so you have $15,000 a month left over. Oh, you have $10,000 a month left over. Well, then what do you want? Well, I want to buy this big piece of land. What am I going to do with the big piece of land? I'm going to grow my business even more. I'm going to make more money. Well, then that's very good. All right, here's the money, they'll pat you on the back, and then you can go and buy your land, and you can go and buy your cattle, and you can grow your business. That's how it is. Money is not an opinion. All right, you cannot be in a situation where you legitimately think money is an opinion, and you cannot be in a situation where you think that everything's just going to turn into Disneyland. That's not good. All right, ultimately you're going to end up failing. And even in a worst case scenario, you'll actually fail very slowly, and you'll fail over a very long period of time. All right, and I'm showing you my results for free. I graze this grass with about 7 animals per acre. This is about 1 1/4 acres of grass. I have animals on this grass 24/7. For me to grow 9 1/2 acres of grass, it costs me about $400 a month. And for that $400 investment, I make about $15,000-$20,000 back. Those are my results. Not exactly 400, because I also supplement them with a little bit of grain. All right, I'll probably feed about 1% of their body weight a day in grain. I'll give them access to grain. I'll give them, and when the grass is like this, I'll feed them a total mixed ration type grain. When the grass develops a little bit more, Then I'll switch them over to distill the grains, and and et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, my monthly expenses come out to be about $1,500, and my monthly income is about 15-20, is about, let's just say 15 grand. All right, and then it's like, if you include death loss, then my monthly gain is whatever about it. My monthly gain is about about $12,500. So I make about $12,500 at the end of the month after I include all my expenses and everything. All right, those are my legitimate numbers, honest to God, for with the utmost sincerity of my soul. I don't know how else to put it. I'm just telling you it is what it is. I'm not bragging about it. I'm not, trust me, I don't care. I legitimately have enough money to do anything. It doesn't matter. All right, and it's like every month that goes by, and what am I doing with the money? Am I going to go and buy myself 4 Lamborghinis? No, I'm not going to go and buy myself 4 Lamborghinis. I'm actually looking for a deal to expand my business. All right, I probably will buy myself a new truck here very soon. I probably will. I'm just going to go ahead and buy myself a big old truck. But I really want to buy more cattle. All right, I really want to buy more cattle. I have this, that's what I want to do with my money. Right now, in terms of, where do I want to push a lot of this money? Because I got myself this new lease property, right? I got myself this new lease property, and I have to refill my preconditioning pens. I really want to push a lot of money into buying more cattle. That's what I want to do right now, as of right this moment. All right, that's what I want to do with the money. All right, that's and that's just honest to God. Am I gonna go it's like, oh well, if I just didn't go and buy myself if I just didn't go and buy myself 20 40 more cattle, I could just go and buy myself a Lamborghini instead. And I want to buy more cattle. Okay, that's what I want to do right now. That's what I'm looking to do. I want to buy more cattle. All right, I have I've been I'm generating large amounts of money, and what am I going to do with it? I'm going to grow my business. I got myself a new lease property. I got grass growing season for about 3 months. This is what grass looks like even after I graze it with 7 animals per acre for 24/7. This is still what the grass looks like. Grass like this cost me about $400 a month, to grow about 9.5 acres of it. And and I'm net positive somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000 a month. All right, and another way to look at that is if I net positive $12,000 a month, and let's say I sell 7 animals for the month, and then I buy 7 animals, and then whatever, I lost 1 animal. So I need to buy 8 animals, and I buy 8 animals, and I still come home with about $4,000, $4,500, something like that. That's what the money looks like, right? And what do I do with that money? I grow the equity of my herd. I reinvest it into my business to grow my business. And if I do that, I actually compound growth, right? And as of right this moment, investing $4,000 a month of additional capital into if I just reinvest my earnings, my business will actually grow by about 10 to 15% a month. All right, I will legitimately grow my business by 10 to 15% a month. That effectively means I will double the size of my business and I would actually anticipate, because these animals, I didn't just, I gave you the example of, the whole example of the whole situation of Farmer Howard, and we'll go over I guess we'll go over it again one more time. So Farmer Howard has no money. But Farmer Howard has decided that he's going to go and make some money. Okay, Farmer Howard has decided, I don't have any money, but right now, but Farmer Howard is not poor, he's broke, right? I say you have to learn how to make this difference. You have to understand that there is a difference between being broke and being poor. If you're poor, it's practically a death sentence. You're probably going to die poor. There's a long list of reasons for being poor, but if you're broke, it's not that big of a deal because it's temporary. And this is a very good example of that. Farmer Howard has no money. But Farmer Howard, deep down, he knows, right? Farmer Howard knows, I may legitimately be one of the most capable farmers on the entire planet. Legitimately one of the best ever known to man. And so Farmer Howard has decided, you know what? If I can make myself an extra $2,000 a month starting this year, that would put me in a good situation to do whatever the heck else it is that I want to do. So Farmer Howard has decided for him to do this, he needs to go to the bank and take a loan for $7,000, and he finds a lease property on Facebook Marketplace, and the owner of the lease property is having difficulty maintaining their agricultural exemption, and so has offered Farmer Howard the property for free, granted that he maintains the agricultural exemption. So Farmer Howard says, okay, that's a good deal for me. I have access to land now, and I don't need to pay for it, and I have a $7,000 loan from the bank. So Farmer Howard then goes to the sale barn and purchases 6 cattle and 2 tonnages of fertilizer. And with this 2 tonnages of fertilizer and 6 cattle over the next 6 months, by growing grass on this property, he is able to raise the animals. He buys these animals at 200 pounds. Farmer Howard buys these animals at 200 pounds and uses the 2 tonnages of fertilizer. And by the time that he is done, within 6 months, these 6 animals that he has purchased has actually doubled in value. He's actually managed to condition them properly and raise them from 200 pounds up to 650 pounds. He has managed to put 450 pounds on these animals within the next 6 months. And so he liquidates the 6 animals. And when he liquidates the 6 animals, he buys 12. Very simple, right? I mean, it's not complicated. I've always, beef animals sell by weight and conditioning. You want to make sure that your animals are properly conditioned. It's very simple, right? And so, in this situation, how long would it take for Farmer Howard to make $2,000 a month? Well, it wouldn't even take a year. And in all honesty, the difference, I've always said that Farmer Howard is a fictional character, because if it was me, if I was put in a situation where I legitimately had nothing, I see that as a superpower. If I legitimately, if I lost my farm today, and I lost all my cattle today, and I lost my business today, and I had to restart tomorrow, which I could do no problem. I could redo this infinitely. I could redo this as many times as I want. All right, just because I lose my cattle and I lose my land and I lose my business does not mean that suddenly now I don't know how to farm. I know how to farm. Deep down, I may be one of the best farmers on the entire planet. And that doesn't change. The money does not change that. And so, even if I lost everything, I could redo everything. And if I legitimately had nothing, that would be a superpower. I would go to the bank and tell them, just give me everything that you can. Just give me everything. Legitimately, just give me, I don't know, give me a loan for 50 grand. And if they say no, give me a loan for 48 grand. If they say no, give me a loan for 45 grand. And then just go down in small increments until you get the maximum amount. And then I would just go and just whatever, and I've already said, even if I lost everything, even if I lost my farm and I lost my business and whatever, I would be, I would be a multi-millionaire right back within 6 months. It doesn't matter to me. I could redo all of this, even from scratch. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you the truth. It doesn't matter to me. I could redo all of this from scratch. Just because I lose the money and it doesn't matter. I mean, deep down, I'm still a world-class farmer. I may be one of the best in the world. All right, what would it matter to me? And if I legitimately lost everything, it would be a superpower. I would legitimately just, do or die. All right, that's what I would do. It wouldn't matter to me. All right, and I would be a multi-millionaire right back to where I was more or less within 6 months. It doesn't matter, all right, it doesn't matter, okay? And so, but that's the whole situation. I figured I'd show you the grass. So I figured I'd show you the grass and I'd tell you what's going on with the grass. I got about 1.25 acres out here, and I'm grazing it with about 7 animals per acre, and I got about 9 acres of grass on my field, and it cost me about $400 a month to grow this grass. I'm grazing this grass with about 7 animals per acre, and the grass is still about 6 to 10 inches tall. All right, I'm doing very well for myself. The amount of money that I'm actually probably doing better than I anticipated. I'm probably doing better than I think. I probably am, but but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because after a certain point, it's just like, I do so well for myself, it doesn't even matter. All right, I have so much, I do so well for it doesn't even matter. That's honestly, I'm gonna think about other things. I'm not gonna sit here and think about how well I'm doing for myself, right? I'm gonna think about, what can I do for my business, right? Refill my preconditioning pens. I have 3 or 4 animals ready to go for market. I actually did find a 4th animal that's ready to go for market. It's a black white-faced steer. I do have a 4th animal ready to go for market, about $650. I'm gonna think about other things. I'm not just gonna sit here and go, oh my God, I'm doing so well for myself, and now I'm gonna go around and slap people in the face with money and buy 3 Lamborghinis. What am I realistically gonna do, right? I'm gonna refill my preconditioning pens, take my animals over to the leased property, probably double the size of my business over the next 5 months, continue to grow grass. That's the kind of stuff that I'm gonna do. Oh my God, I'm just gonna sit here with an extra $10,000, $12,000 a month, and no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go and buy myself a Lamborghini, and no, I'm not gonna do that. All right, what am I going to do? I'm going to grow my business. And I have a very realistic idea for how I'm going to do it. All right, and at the end of the day, I give the world my results for free. All right, I give the world my results for free with the belief that if nobody did this for me, and someone out there, there must be somebody who is legitimately looking to farm. There must be somebody. All right, because I know that me at one point in my life I was the somebody. I was looking to farm. I didn't have any. I'm legitimately a first generation farmer. I had to teach myself how to do all of these things by myself. I'm not gonna say I taught myself, but I did more or less teach myself. Right, I've read a lot of books, and I did a lot of practice, and that's how I made it. But someone somewhere must want to learn how to farm. Somebody must want to learn. And if you want to learn how to farm, why not watch? I'm not saying just watch me, but understand that my results are world class. I mean, and I would not say just watch me. You should do your own research too. Look into it for yourself. You can read books on the internet for free. If you go on Google Scholar, you can effectively look up scientific published papers for free. All right, you should not just be watching me. Okay, go and learn. Go and put in some effort to do better for yourself. Go and read papers, go and read books. All right, and just understand that if you get to the 10% mark, you can actually practice for free. And if you can practice for free, that puts you in a very good situation, because if you practice for a very long period of time and you're going in the right direction, then there is no other outcome than you get better. It's not, granted that you have 100 IQ. If you have 100 IQ, you can learn how to do anything. Are you going to be the most creative person on the planet? No, you're not. Are you going to be the most ingenuitive person on the entire planet? No, you're not. But you can learn how to do anything. You can learn how to do anything. You want to learn how to speak 5 languages? If you have 100 IQ, you can learn how to speak 15 languages and play 15 instruments. If you have 100 IQ, you can learn how to do anything. And 100 IQ is effectively the entire planet. More or less. All right, like 90% of the population is more or less 100 IQ. Your IQ is not going to be what makes the difference for your life. It's not. All right, there are other things that are going to make a difference for your life, like putting in, like practicing. All right, like practicing. All right, I'm going to go and whatever, practice. All right, grow yourself some grass. Read a book. Buy, whatever it is. I mean, and just understand that in today's day and age, if you bought a 20-acre field, it would cost you about $1,000 a month. Okay, it would cost you about $1,000 a month in my area. It would cost you about $1,000 a month. And if you made it to the 10% mark, you could practice for free. Okay, you could practice for free. And if you're practicing for free, that puts you in a very good spot. All right, because if you practice for a very long period of time and you go in the right direction, then ultimately, you're looking to effectively do better than me. But it's going to take a lot of time, okay? There's no way that anybody's going to do this tomorrow. If you take a look at my results, I have some of the best results in terms of a global standard, in terms of a legitimate, monetary standard for the entire country. I'm one of the most financially successful people in the entire country for the year 2024, and it's about to be worse. I'm about to do better. I'm about to double it up. All right, you're not going to be able. If everybody could wake up tomorrow and generate $5 million and start cash flowing $25,000 a month, everybody would do it. Everybody would do it. All right, it's going to be very difficult, okay? But you should not be discouraged. Understand that even if you get to the 10% mark, you can actually practice for free. And that puts you in a very good spot. Practice for free. It's going to take a long time, and eventually you can make yourself a lot of money too. I legitimately make so much money running cattle. I don't even know how much money I make. I don't. And I'm giving you everything for free. I'm not giving you everything. I'm not going to do it. I've already said that there is no way for me to, do the work for you. I can give you the information. I can show you how I do it. But at the end of the day, whether you make it or not is largely going to depend on you. There is no skipping that. Either you make it or you don't. And and if you, and I hope that nobody dies a poor moron idiot. I hope not. Even if you're not, I hope not. All right, that would not be good. All right, oh well, I hope not. If it was up to me, everybody would make. But I mean, it's not up to me, right? And it just is what it is. Okay, I do very well for myself. I'm showing you my results for free. In terms of a financial standard, I'm one of the most successful people in the entire country. And for the year 2024, I was one of the most successful financial people in the entire country. For the year 2025, it's going to be substantially even. I'm going to do even better for myself. I'm actually going to double my business. I may even more than double my business. All right, I do very well for myself. And at the end of the day, trust me, I don't care. I will sit here and be rich by myself. If that's what it comes down to, I will be rich by myself. I make a ballistic amount of money. Why would I care? All right, I make a massive amount of money. I don't even know how much money I make. Why would I care? I'll just sit here and be rich by myself. Do I want that to happen? No, I don't want that to happen. All right, and that's it for me today, YouTube. You have a good one.